important for Maury because it justified all that he was saying.
Santucci and his investigators were sharing light on the information they had compiled and pulling new sources from the shadows.
We are present here with regard to investigation, providing and so forth.
Totally dirty. I just want to resolve.
It made big headlines.
Yeah.
Santucci knew all this. Son of Sam. It's all bullshit. They were so convinced that they were loving. Why did they come forth then? Why is it all hindsight now?
At that time, he indicated he did it all alone. Our investigation disclosed he did it all alone. On his interviews with the court-appointed psychiatrist before
Yeah.
the trial, there was no question that he did it all alone.
Santucci, you opened that case. Was the main
The police and prosecutors who worked in the Son of Sam case say there's absolutely no evidence of any of it. They say the story is wild. They want to keep everything simple.
Nobody else was shot. And the case was closed.
While I was hopeful the NYPD would reinvestigate Berkowitz's crimes, I should have known better. And so while Santucci worked his end of the investigation, I would work mine. I would embark on a deeper probe of the other real-life son of Sam, the enigmatic Michael Carr. Before his death, I learned that Michael had a number of drug and alcohol-related issues, and first became active in the Church of Scientology to curb his addictions.
Originally, I learned that John and Michael were Scientologists.
Michael Carr was a Scientologist. Michael Carr was a higher level Scientologist. That's been proven.
Like Jack, Michael also had other spiritual endeavors, including an interest in the occult. Throughout my research, one name continued to appear. An organization with its roots in Scientology that was somehow woven into the modern-day occult movement. A mysterious group that called themselves the Process Church of the Final Judgment.
We are the servants of God, no less.
The Process Church of the Final Judgment started in 1963 when Robert and Marianne de Grimston met at the L. Ron Hubbard Institute for Scientology in London.
The creed of the Church of Scientology. We of the church believe that all men have inalienable rights.
And they were both studying to be auditors. Auditing was Hubbard's, his kind of version of Freud's talking cure, where you kind of go over your whole life and explore a certain trauma. And they seemed to be apparently very good at it. But they were looking for more, something more extreme. They jumped ship.
Yeah.
And they started something they called the process.
Psychotherapy technology, actually. And we found that we were able to strip away these various different components, and as we took the compulsions away, more spiritual information starts to emerge.
Down the line, they had this idea that they needed to get away from the city, they wanted to get back to nature. And so they decided to go to Mexico, and then a hurricane struck. And for 3 days they were pounded with terrific 200 evil and keeping them rigidly apart. You have to bring them together. The bourgeois middle class needed to be wiped out. And this was about chaos and disruption. They were seriously devoted to bring on the end of the world.
Human creations, human ambitions, human conventions, human laws, all these should be destroyed to make way for a new age
The process wanted to spread these messages. They had lectures, they showed films about violence and hate. So they have the black capes, they're wearing these silver crosses that are very big and obvious. Along with everything else, they brought German Shepherd dogs. This was something that became kind of a symbol for the process for these dogs.
The process's affinity for German Shepherds struck a chord. The dogs that had been killed near Berkowitz, sacrificed by the groups in Yonkers and Minot, had also been German Shepherds. After all I had uncovered, it was hard to suggest that this was somehow random. But the process's message spread far beyond London.
They decided to send out troops to the States. They set up camp in Los Angeles, went to New York, went to New Orleans, went to San Francisco. They established a profile in the Haight-Ashbury.
The Haight-Ashbury district, 40-block area of San Francisco, began to emerge in January of 1966 as the mecca of the hippies.
And as things would happen, one of their neighbors at this time was Tom
Five members of the so-called religious cult, including Charles Manson, ruler or high priest, have been indicted in the murder of Sharon Tate and 6 others. The involvement of the mystical hippie clan, which despised the straight affluent society. They called themselves the Family, and the number varied from 20 to 30. Police said they were a pseudo-religious cult. This is where they lived, an old rundown movie location 20 miles from Los Angeles.
Manson was trying to incite a race war he called Helter Skelter.
There are people that maintain that Manson learned everything he knew from the process, like the apocalyptic ideas that they preach.
A lot of the guys interested in studying how to clear your mind, that's where Scientology started, and then it got to be the process.
That ideology was out there. Manson didn't invent it. It was something that he absorbed. That influenced his whole idea of setting off Helter Skelter, this race war, bringing on the apocalypse. Manson got his power over the people in the family because they had very low self-esteem. He made them feel good about themselves. He made them feel important.
I wanted to write this. I wanted to be famous. It was like a tool in the hands of the
Why did you write this book? What do you hope to achieve with it?
Well, I wrote it just specifically. I hope that all young people read it. Here's a guy responsible for 10, 15 murders and with a sensible aim of appeasing Satan. I think there's a phenomenon.